What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another team profile and projection here on Talkin Baseball, where we're doing an episode a day every day until opening day. And today we're doing about the Kansas City Royals. Hi, Grizzo.
And these TPPs are brought to you by SeatGeek. Code Talkin, $20 off your first order with SeatGeek.
Royals, frisky team, trading away everybody. Open tryouts. Jake, what did they do?
New team in a couple ways. Sneaky who they lost. Dayton Moore. Change of, the architect of those Royals teams that used to torment Trev's Twins. They added Jordan Lyles, my guy, making the rounds. Ryan Yarbrough, friend of the program. He'll get an actual chance to be a starting pitcher for the first time in his career. Aroldis Chapman from the Yanks. Josh Taylor just came over from a trade. Couple minor league guys. They traded Ryan O'Hearn, Michael A. Taylor, your mom's favorite player, Adalberto Mondesi, Wyatt Mills, Luke Weaver's gone. Zach Greinke remains unsigned. I wonder if there's any smoke there.
Well, this is coming out very later, but
right.
there's hot right now that it's looking like they're going to get back together.
Yeah. I saw some headlines about probably an incentive-laden deal. It probably happened a month ago as you're hearing this.
We'll see what happens there. Trevor Plouffe, what's that lineup look like for you?
Are we doing just like time traveling here or something? What are you guys talking about? Let's go over the lineup. We'll start with our guy, MJ Melendez, who's a catcher. He's an outfielder. He's a hitter is what he is. Then my guy, Bobby Witt Jr. at shortstop. I think he ended up putting up a 2020 season last year after starting slow. He's an absolute stud. Sal Perez behind the dish, DHing our guy, Vinny Pasquantino. Is he the Italian Nightmare or the Pasquatch? Because I think we're in between nicknames for him right now.
We have Pasquatch shirts on sales.
We do have Pasquatch shirts on sale. Shop.johnboymedia.com. Check those out. Edward Olivares in right field. Kyle Isabel, he's a left-handed bat, left field. Drew Waters, switch hitter in center. And then a guy, Nicky Lopez at second base. Hey, maybe they're calling him beats this year because they're bigger. Think about that while I announce the bench. Nate Eaton, utility guy. Freddie Fermin, he'll be a catcher. Could be Furman. Michael Massey, left-handed bat. He's an infielder. Then Samad Taylor, another utility guy. If I butchered those names, I apologize. Some of these guys I haven't heard of yet. But, James, tell me about that.
You had all the names, man. You crushed it.
Even doubles.
Thanks.
Yeah. Rotation, you got Brady Sanger. He pitched last year for them. Had a decent year. Had a pretty good year. He kind of looks like a punk on the mound. Like a guy that fights with his, like a little 13-year-old that fights with his mom in the grocery store. That's the vibe I get from watching him on the mound. Brad Keller.
Okay.
He didn't have a good year, but he had a great COVID season, so maybe he plays better during quarantine. Also, he dropped down a little bit because they brought in Lyles and Yarbrough, who I was just trying to message on Instagram, because I think if they don't let Yarbrough start, I'm going to glitter bomb the Royals. I'm going to let him know that. Let me know if they are not planning on starting you. I'll glitter bomb them right away. They do have some really nice bullpen pieces that I think as we get closer to the arbitration seasons that you might see some trades happening for the Royals here. I mean, they got Scott Barlow. He's, I think people want him right now. We're recording this late January. You're listening to it late February. I wouldn't be surprised if there's more rumors about him in between. You got Stelmont. He's really fun to watch. I don't know how he did last year, but I just know his stuff is really fun. Amir Garrett, he's been friendly with us and hung out with us and is always good for, drama. Or Aroldis Chapman.
Too.
He's there to mix things up. Dylan Coleman. So I like their bullpen. Is that their best asset, the bullpen?
Yes. Dylan Coleman might be the best reliever you don't know about. That guy throws a hunch. It's one of those. It was one of my eye-opening moments last year that I was like, oh, Dylan Coleman came in against the Yankees. Let's see what this kid's got. Oh, there's your triple. No, that bullpen is nice. I mean, Josh Stallman's a guy they used to rely on a lot more. They picked up Josh Taylor in that Adalberto trade. That they've got dudes in the pen. It looks like they're going back to those Kansas City Royal teams they used to torment Trev, and that is the strength of this team. The lineup's a little funky. There's some guys you like. Brady Singer, I think you could see it last year. I don't think it's a Jake take or anything. I think the turn happened, and I think he's going to have another level. I think he's going to be a breakout player this year. I think some of the depth and some of the parts in the rotation and the lineup are what make you do a little bit of the head turn, and you're like, I don't know where I'm at with these Royals.
How you guys talked about the Pirates is how I feel about the Royals. It's a full tryout year for young guys. They're trading away people. You're like, oh, you're getting rid of him? Oh, you're getting rid of him? I think they're trying to move Dozier right now. They're just trying to free up spots, and it's let's see what we got mode. And it's almost feels like they're trying to do a full year of like, let's see what these prospects are. And they could be good, or they could be middling. They could be, I think if they finish up 75 wins, but they get solidified that like 3 of these guys are like, oh, we're going to keep them around. They're worthwhile. Like they're panning out at play at the MLB level. Then they could take the next step. But it seems like I didn't think they were going to be big movers of people, but they have been lately. And I think they're just trying to free up spots to let the kids play. And they do have some fun talent. I wonder how much base stealing they lose. I know not Witt Jr., but what's the other? Toronto now.
Whit Merrifield.
Whit Merrifield. He grabbed a lot of bases.
Whit Merrifield.
Yeah, Bobby Whit Merrifield. But Bobby Witt stole a bunch. Like they've always been a fast brand of baseball, which I want to remain. I like knowing when the Royals come to town and play the Yanks, shit, catchers better be ready. And that's what it's been like for like 5 years now. So I keep the speed going.
I think they got some guys in their lineup that they know are going to be part of the future. They graduated a bunch of guys from that prospect list. When you're talking about Bobby Witt, the Pasquatch, and Melendez. So they know those guys are going to be part of it. And I agree, there's going to be some run for some other guys to prove it. And I think that's really cool. If you're a Royals fan, you do probably remember 2013. It wasn't great, but you started to see these guys emerge. And then 2014, you took the step. And what they were able to do back then, we'll see if they can do it again in the near future, is supplement that team and have an identity. They were all about outfield defense and pitching and the bullpen. And they were the first people to really rely on their bullpen to shorten games. I believe they were revolutionary in that aspect. They kind of changed baseball when they started. You got through 5 and you knew that you had to score before that because you weren't going to score on their bullpen. I don't know if they have that level of bullpen yet. They got some guys back that are really good, but that was their identity. I don't share the same optimism. I know the division's not great.
Well, I had said 75 was good. I don't know if that was optimistic. I just think it's fun.
Yeah. I guess I could see them approaching that. They'd have to have some really special seasons from Bobby Witt Jr. I said last year, I thought that of these rookies that came up, I thought he was the surest thing. Well, Julio Rodriguez said, go F yourself. Adley Rutschman said, go F yourself. But
if you watch,
they did. They called me and said, I can't believe you would make that assessment. But if you watch Bobby Witt Jr. play, I mean, dude, he's a star. It's just a matter of time before he absolutely breaks out. I mean, he was even last year as a rookie. You go 2020. I think it happened 5 times in the history of baseball that a first-year player has gone 2020, and he did it. So that just tells you that he's a dude. I guess, is Julio the other guy? Did he get 20 last year, 20 bags?
I think so, yeah. Pretty good.
There's some things to be excited about here. Scott Barlow, I wanted to mention. Not my hands all over him, but my brother's hands all over him at Golden Valley High in Santa Clarita. I remember going to watch this guy pitch, throw bullpens. And now here he is, one of the best relievers in the game.
How about it? Yeah, I mean, those top 4 names, I feel like that's different as we go through these teams and we're coming down. Like Melendez, a really sweet swing, like has a chance to be very good. I think they're kind of getting him off the catcher position. Plus, Salvi loves to catch. Salvi Perez, you know what he's going to be. There's a range of Salvi. We saw his crazy home run season. We saw him come down for that. It's where is he going to land in there? Pasquantino, I'm obviously biased on the situation now, but go look at his stats from last year. More walks than strikeouts. The dude hit at a real level. And Bobby Witt Jr., like you guys have talked about. So within those 4, there's a serious peak there that those 4 can get to. After that, it's kind of pure question marks for me, not to be rude to my Royals nation, but Olivares, Isbell, Dozier, Waiters, Nicky Lopez, Massey, whoever's filling in there. I just don't know what you're going to get from those guys. And sneaky on last year's Royals team, Michael A. Taylor racked up a lot of WAR for them, mostly defensively, but that's what he does. Benny had a huge first half for them before they traded him. I have some concerns in the lineup, especially if those top couple guys aren't doing their thing. And then Singer, he's the guy I really like in the rotation. After that, I don't know. And I do think, we haven't gotten to our Twins yet, but I think the Twins are going to get better. It's hard to say the Guardians are going to get worse. Maybe they don't have as much magic. White Sox are a coin flip, but the Royals, I kind of like what you were saying, Jim. I think there's more of a feeling out with this team this year that I don't know if it's going to have that kind of Orioles juice to it. Like, let's win some games. Let's try to get to 500. Maybe they do. I don't know.
This is a let the kids play type of team. When you say Waiters, you talking about Waters? It's got to be Waters, right?
I think it's
Drew?
Waiters.
How's it spelled?
Like
Waters.
water.
Oh, that's a hell of an assumption.
And
Jake
Baseball
must have heard it
Reference
then.
doesn't have a pronunciation key.
prospect.
So
It feels like Jake had to hear it then, because you don't read the word water and say waiter
wow,
unless
this is
you have an
Jake we're
inkling.
talking about, guys.
I mean, Reds fans are
I
gonna
hope
be
you're
on
right,
your
because then
ass
I
about
look like an
TJ
idiot. And sometimes I
Friedel.
like
Oh.
that. I like looking like an idiot sometimes.
Okay,
Sure.
I didn't.
What I
buy-
like about this team is you can see who they think are going to be guys by the numbers that they wear. MJ Melendez, number 1. Bobby Witt Jr., number 7.
MJ
Vinny, number
Melendez.
9.
They just feel this team feels like a bunch of like cocksure team. Jonathan India belongs
Whoa.
on this team.
Trade?
He'd have to cut the hair up a little bit. They're a little more clean cut. India went from like clean
Where's
cut.
I
Bobby
don't know if
Witt?
they are anymore. Dayton Moore
Bobby
is gone.
Witt's
They can
not
do
yet.
a lot of fun
India
things
had
now.
what Bobby Witt has. Then he went 1 year too long. Like if you see videos of Jack Doyle from earlier in the year, you're like, oh, Jack, your hair was too long. Now it looks great.
It could be Waters. I don't know.
Could be Waters.
I feel like I've heard Waiters.
I think I have two,
He
but I
stole
think I
them
heard
from
it
the
from
Braves.
you.
So I might be starting it.
That is bizarre if you're just straight up reading water waiter for no reason at all.
I mean,
Who's
I know
the other
Waters.
guy who we butchered his name on purpose? What is it? We have another
There's a
guy like
couple.
that. Let's not start that
Brady
with this guy.
Sanger?
I like him.
Oh, that sounded right.
Who
And
is the
Frazier
guy?
trade next step.
Ion Anderson.
Ion Anderson.
That's rude. It's just messed up.
It's like prospect-wise, Michael Garcia might get the call for them this year. Maybe some Marsh and Lofton. Otherwise, I'm not too sure. I don't know. The bullpen's fun if they can fix Chapman.
They got rid of their pitching coach last year. True, false?
Royals.
I mean, it was like
pitching
long-time pitching coach because they had all the, or am I talking about the Tigers? It was one of the AL Central teams.
Royals hire Brian Sweeney as pitching coach.
And that was this offseason.
Yeah, I think it was a decent deal because they had so many pitching prospects like Singer and a couple others.
Chris Bubich was.
Yeah,
Talked about him the past
that-
couple years.
I think they fired a lot of their staff because they just thought this group was going to develop better.
Make it better.
So hopefully that helps. You know?
Hmm.
What do we have the over-under at? 69.5.
Yeah, I'd
It's
say
pretty
that's-
good.
I'd say that's right. I think I'm taking the under. Oh, I'm a conservative guy, and I thought like 75 was a big win.
They won 65 games last year. Did they get 5 games better?
I don't think so because they're traded away a lot of MLB talent.
I'm going with the under. I'm drinking some Twins getting better Kool-Aid. Also, if we did Central Division teams are playing more out of division.
I mean, last year they had Whit Merrifield. He wasn't having a fantastic year.
Yeah.
But he probably had some good stretches that helped him win some games.
Like
They had
Taylor.
Benintendi, who was having a great year.
All-star.
Michael, I mean, they just had like MLB players. So these younger guys would have to come up and play at MLB level or have stretches where they're helping you with games. I think the rotation is better than last year. Yeah, it has to be. And last year,
It's an interesting take when you're talking about AL Central now playing the AL Central less and the other teams more, because last year we found kind of this.
Are the Centrals about to be dog shit?
Oh,
Even more? Is this hurt them even more?
I know somebody. I wish we did this earlier. I know somebody did a study on like which divisions are helped out the most. AL East gets a lot better by less division play, and the Centrals are gonna get dog shit on. Was the general?
Yeah, I didn't think of that, but the Centrals don't get to play the Central as much anymore. How many games is it total that they don't have to play against? They don't get to play against the Centrals.
I want to say it's 14 games instead of 19.
So you lose 20 in division games. You lose 5 teams per the other
20. You lose
teams.
20 in division games.
Mm-hmm. 5.
16.
So 19 to 19 games.
Before you cut me
games,
off,
right?
James, I
4
was
other
talking
teams.
about a
4
loophole
other
we
teams.
found last year in the
5.
betting.
5
A lot
times
of us
4.
took unders on RBI totals. They were very inflated last year.
Okay.
You
Don't tell
know
the people,
why.
Trev. We'll tell them again.
The smart.
This
ones
could
will
be
know.
this could be the loophole. The central teams now like having to go out of division and losing those 20 games against what we'll call probably lesser teams.
I'm a coastal elitist. I'm taking under. Change my picks on all the Midwest teams to under.
I think you're
I
on
am
that
going
already.
to. I'm going to take the over on this team. I'm going to take the over on this team.
Oh, Trav.
I'm
Okay.
going to take the over on this team because I believe that we're going to have a couple breakouts. I think Bobby Witt Jr. is going to go absolutely nuts this year. I think he's going to go. I think he's going to approach 30-30.
I think he needs to
he's
shit
gonna
himself.
Go absolutely nuts.
I mean, just
So give me
like-
the over.
Under.
I'm taking the under as well.
71 wins.
You want your Pirates over flipped to an under?
First flip.
What was it at?
64.5. All 3 were over. You can be the one.
Yeah,
under.
they got to play the East more. They got to play the
First flip.
They got to play the AL East. They got to play the Astros. That's a sweep.
It's not a sweep. You can't. No one sweeps. You know that.
Yeah, it is tough to sweep.
Definitely a series loss. No
It is
doubt
tough
about
to
that.
Sweeping's difficult.
They sleep through.
I want to start seeing when. Hold on. Well, you don't have to hold on. This doesn't need to be part of the show.
Thanks,
Should I music?
everyone.
Thanks everybody.
Yeah, because I'm not even doing Royal shit. here.
Royal
Hey,
up.
beautiful uniforms. I think
Yeah.
Royals one of the more underrated uniforms. in all
I agree.
baseball.
I think that's why I like them sometimes. Royal blue. It's a nice color.
Look at Pasquantino's stats.
the Falcons are kind of like not that cool. I don't know. Hot take.
What the shit?